can see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sun.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Brian, and today is Wednesday, March 6th, 2024, and this is episode 648 of the Lots Project podcast, and it's titled Just Clownin', and I'll be chatting about a few clowns. Someone might be messing with my pizza, some possible test runs of some things, and a whole lot more. First, let's grab some coffee, check out who's hanging out in the live chat, and we'll get rolling here in a minute. Good morning. Let me pop up and see if I can get Noster chat here. Been working on getting this better. Good morning, Jim, over on Noster. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Let's see who's here in the other live chat. We got Jen in way early. Jen, you okay? You having trouble sleeping or something? Pip says he is not liking those clowns. Pip doesn't care for clowns. Good morning, Jim and Mike's Homestead Wired Edge Workshop. Thanks for stopping in. And Hunter hanging out over on Twitch all by himself with all his friends. Thanks for Hunter for always stopping by and holding down the fort over at Twitch. You give me those awesome view stats. Thanks for that zap, Jim. I appreciate that. Good morning, Rachel. Rewilder Life. She said she just woke up. Wow. Good night. Good night. I got some stuff to talk about sleep here today, I think. And Pickle Pete coming in as usual. Good morning, Pickle Pete. How we doing? Oh, man. Hectar's in my cup this morning. Hectar, the light Colombian, in the cup this morning. It is yummy. I never thought I would like a Colombian as much as I like Hectar. Oh, man, that's good. Rachel from Real Wilder Life says she took a melatonin and doesn't think she'll do that again. I got a little hooked on melatonin. Well, back when I was going through my divorce, had trouble sleeping, because anxiety, stress, and all that lovely stuff. I started popping some melatonin, and yeah, that was interesting stuff. You take a little, and it's like, oh, hell, me fell asleep. You take a lot, and you're like a zombie for 2 days. Jim says Jen's new, and the enthusiasm won't last. Well, you're still here. Jim saying the enthusiasm won't last, and he's watching on at least 2 platforms. Oh man, let's get into it. Just clowning today, guys. I went to the post office yesterday and I turned the corner. And if you're new to the show, Jen, do you know about the neighbors and their yard art here? And that whole thing, were you around for that at all yet? I can't remember if you've experienced any of the neighbors' yard art. Quick backstory: the neighbor around the corner, they are interesting to say the least. I'm not sure what their I don't want to say what their problem is. They're just doing their thing. But something went down right before we arrived here about a year ago. That a bar. A eating establishment that served alcohol was open across the street from this house. So we're like, yeah, they're Tim Burton fans. Jim nailed it. They're Tim Burton fans. So we actually stay in a lot that is 1 or 2, like 2 lots behind them. And they live kind of on the corner. So there are, like, we can see the back of their house, but if we want to see the front of their house, we have to drive down the street around the corner. Pickle Pete says $10, says they're Pentecostal. There's something that uses written language that isn't English in some of their stuff. But anyway, They moved here. This is the backstory I got when I got here, because we drove by and the front yard of this place is like it's like Halloween puked on their front yard all the time, but it's not like Halloween themed. It's like messed up, like targeted stuff, like just to irritate people, freak people out, scare people, offend people. I'm not sure what the goal is, but Hunter said it, and I thought it too. It's actually on my notes. But after they moved in, somebody opened a restaurant across the street, and so they started targeting this. They don't like that. I'm guessing they don't like alcohol. And they don't like the noise. They don't like anything. So this dude that he owns the gas station downtown, like this is a involved, long webbing story. But the dude that opened the restaurant also owns the gas station in town, and I've gotten to know him. And he's an Indian guy from India. And him and his sister, they own a lot of businesses around here. And I don't know if it's a racist thing. I don't know if it's an alcohol thing. I don't know if it's a they don't want a restaurant across from their house thing, or they might just be absolutely insane. We have a lot of options. Well, the bar closed. Guys, by the way, if anybody's looking for an investment, I'd be happy to help you out with the building across the street from these people, because the guy that was running the thing couldn't take it anymore. He tapped out. He didn't tap into the potential of this advertising across the street, like not even scratch the surface. But anyway, they've targeted the bar. They put security cameras up in their front yard, like motion activated lights, flashing things. They had Santa Claus with his head cut off. They had all sorts of stuff. Well, since the bar was closing, they had to have a new target. So they started targeting the pastor of the church down the road. I'm going to show a video in a second. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, how well you'll be able to see it on the live stream, but a drive-by of this. They have a preacher on a pulpit with a devil's head with the devil horns on it. They had the alderman here from town. They had an effigy of him up there with some messed up stuff, sayings. The pastor replica, he has all sorts of weird shit about lying to people and all this. Yeah, it's interesting. So yesterday we drove by, and I'm going to put it on the screen here. This is what I see. And it's not zoomed in very good. You can go to the Telegram chat at t.me/lots chat. This picture and the video I'm going to play is posted. But I drive by and there is this clown now. Well, you can see in the picture another of their creations is this skeleton thing. And I'm pretty sure they make all these. Like, they're very talented for what they do. But they make these things, and this skeleton, they decorated it nice for Valentine's Day. They put hearts along his cage and all sorts of stuff. They were trying to be very, very spirited in the Valentine's Day. But this clown was a new addition yesterday when I drove by. So I'm gonna pop this video up real quick, and it's a slow roll. It's like 16 seconds. That it's a drive-by of their yard, and you'll see what's going on here. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. Might have to go over to the Telegram chat to check it out in more detail. But here we go on the drive-by. Big old house for sure. There's the preacher pulpit. Oh, hold on. I can make this better. Hold on. Okay, so here is the preacher pulpit with the devil horns. I think they might have taken down the alderman, but this sign talks about how his church lies to people or something. Oh yeah, Santa Claus is still there. There is Santa Claus. Santa Claus's head is on the ground next to him. In these trees on the border the yard, there are baby doll heads hanging in the trees. I don't know if you can see it in this one. Nope, that tree, they might have taken the baby doll heads down. They might have taken the baby doll heads down. Let me see if I can get to the baby heads, if they're in the back over here. This was the tree behind the pole here that had the majority of the baby heads in it, and they might have taken them down and only put them in the yard. So this is around the corner from the house. Well, I saw the baby heads. Wired Edge Workshop says, well, that's not going to give me nightmares. Hey, try sleeping behind it. I mean, I can't say that I have any problems with them. I've never had an interaction with them. I've never had anything. I see the guy out walking his dog behind the house and everything in the mornings. I just think they like to express their opinion. So it is what it is. I go back and forth, like the townspeople. Good morning, Chris Dixon. He does say at least they try to be seasonal. They do. Man, the townspeople want them put on pikes for sure. They want them tarred and feathered and run out of town, or at least made to clean up their yard. And Wired Edge says, I was expecting to trash your house based on the earlier discussions. I mean, it is what it is. That was one of the funny things is in these local Facebook groups, I hear all about this. And the people, this is like the talk of the town. Weird, dead Santa with his head chopped off and a baby heads hanging in the tree is the topic of the local Facebook group in a town of 400. Huh. But they're like, we need to use the garbage, the yard garbage or yard waste ordinance to get these people to clean that up. And I'm sitting here going, man, I drive around this town. There's a lot of people going to be cleaning shit up out of their yard if these people got to take their artwork. And the thing is, they're really good at what they do. They're really good at it. Like, this stuff looks good. It might not be your thing. It might not be your thing, but they're talented in what they do. Jen says, this is their yard, I believe, in individual rights. So even though they have strange taste in their yard decor, and that's what I say. You're gonna play that slippery. You're gonna play that slippery slope. Dixon says we need a law. Yeah, we need a law. Like we need another fucking hole in the head. And that's kind of where I was going. So the clown was absolutely appropriate that I saw it yesterday because I realized that it was some election day yesterday, I guess. Weird, I didn't know. Primary day, I saw the Facebook group blowing up here because they couldn't get anybody to work the polls at the post office here in town, so the people were having to travel to go vote, and it was a travesty. I believe they had to go 4 or 7 miles or something like that to the nearest polling place, but it wasn't in town, so it was a violation of everyone's right to be able to vote because they had to travel 4 miles. Even though anybody that posted that, there were people going, "Yeah, I'll give you a ride. When do you want to go? I'll pick you up to take you." But they were just like, "We don't have a polling place," and they're screaming about that. So I guess there was a clown show yesterday, right? Primary day. Didn't look in. Did I imagine Trump and Biden won because that's just how they're going to do it, right? The fact that the dude got the nomination and can barely say his own name, I think it's a shoe-in for what's happening here. So that was yesterday. So clown show was apropos for that morning. But the second thing that was clown show related was Tuesday night, and I believe specifically the first Tuesday of the month is city council meeting here. And there is a lot of controversy in the city council here in my small town that we're staying in. I might have recalled you guys hearing about the mayor getting in a fist fight with a local citizen. There was also some stuff about the mayor owning a business. There was controversy over my neighbors and their yard art and the bar across the street and the beer ordinances. this has all been going on since I've been here. I can only imagine what the long-term politics here are like. Well, we went to dinner and we went by City Hall last night on our way home, and it was overflowing with cars. And I remembered, because of all the cars, that it was city council meeting night. And the thing that they were voting on, I almost got me to swing in. If I had been a resident, I would have been there already. I would have been there. One of the things they were discussing last night, and I can't speak to this as fact. Like, I'm not trying, I will present both sides of the issue because I don't know the actual details. I only know secondhand from Facebook and reading the agenda of the city council meeting, because they post the agenda ahead of time. One of the topics on the agenda was, we're going to be talking about the food truck ordinances in our town. Now, from the chatter of the Facebook groups and the discussions on the posts about the agenda, the food truck ordinance, they will be determining whether they want to start charging a fee for people to bring their food trucks to the town here. So charging them a fee to come and vend their food for the local citizens. Now you have to realize that our town has a Mexican restaurant that is absolutely phenomenal. And then we also have a restaurant that the mayor owns that's open 2 days a month. Half of the year, I think, maybe. And even when he's open, do you remember when you were a kid? Yeah, Jen, I'll get there in a second, charging a fee for food trucks. Remember when you were a kid and you went to like the Little League field and they had concession stand food? Like, it was all in a big freezer, and the dads, they like heated it up in the microwave or on the grill, but it was all like, you could tell it was just like school food, like the stuff you get in the school cafeteria, concession stands, shit like that. That's what the food there is. Like, when we first got here, it says pizza, and I'm like, I'm a pizza guy, man. Like, let's try this pizza. I'm looking for some good pizza. It was basically, he made it from all the frozen ingredients that he pulled out of the freezer. Like, he pulled the frozen crust out that he ordered from Cisco. He got the big can of sauce and he opened it, put it on there. Everything was just frozen. It was not fresh or made, and it was horrible. So this is the caliber of restaurants we have. Now, back in October, Charlie, my buddy Charlie, who grew up in New York and then moved to Florida and now lives in Tennessee, he's got a food trailer that makes pizza, and it makes phenomenal pizza. Like, the pizza, yeah. I finally found my good pizza since we were in Tennessee. So he comes every Thursday night and parks in town. He has an arrangement with someone that owns the property that he parks on. Happens to be one of the guys that was around the fist fight with the mayor. He parks there for 4 hours, 5 hours, and the dude is absolutely packed the whole time. I've noticed that we've had another food truck or food trailer start pulling in on Saturdays for a little while there. But it sounds like they want to start charging a fee for the food trucks to come. And the food truck people and the people against this, me, were in the comments talking about it, going, no other town around here charges. Yeah, Chris Dixon says food trucks that come to their town must purchase a business license. That's I think that's a beyond. I think this is a per time. So they're all discussing the fact that no other town around here does that. They're actually reaching out to trucks to come and be in their town and bring people to their town and bring commerce to their town. Our town here, I shouldn't say I'm like staying here. I don't live here. Just staying here. They're trying to make it harder for business to be here. So yeah, I don't know how it went down. I'll have to be on the Facebook. I'll have to scope it out this morning, get the details of the meeting. Last month's meeting, when they discussed the mayor's fist fight, miraculously somehow the video got it was the first time ever, guys. First time ever we had technical glitches and the video disappeared when we discussed the mayor getting arrested for getting in a fist fight with a citizen. I don't know. So weird. It obviously disappeared. So I don't know if last night was controversial enough that the video would disappear, or if I only get written notes. We'll see. Pickle Pete says small price for a fascist and free the pie. If they charge Charlie, fuck that. He should park 1 foot across the line. Well, here's the thing. So Charlie, I talked to Charlie. Charlie's been looking for a brick and mortar place. This past Thursday, got the update. He signed his lease in a town probably 20 minutes from here. He is going to probably shoot for May to be in May. He's supposed to be open with his brick and mortar. And he's still going to run his food truck. But man, Chris Dixon says if it's not trash food, you make it back in one lunch service. That's the point, though, Chris. No one else around here is charging that fee. So as a food truck operator, why the fuck would I pay it? I'll just go somewhere else and park. So if you're going to be the only one that charges, I think you're just doing your citizens a disservice, because these people are just going to go to the town next door that doesn't charge anything. Only one in the local area. This is coming from food truck people that's what they do every day. So I don't know, right or wrong. That's up to the town. But all I know is if I have a food truck and I'm going to town A, B, C, D, and E, and town C starts charging me to be there, and A, B, D, and E don't, I'm just not going to go there. So he's got a place he's renting. It's an old hardware store. He's got some time. He's going to knock it out, and then he's going to run his trailer separate. The problem is, if he stops coming here, I'm going to be pissed. And I want to open a pizza place at the place across from the people with the shit in their yard. I don't know. I never really wanted to run a restaurant or a pizza place, but it might be worth it there. Might be worth it for there. Rachel says our town did this, and now all the little places left, and we just have big businesses, and the quaint little town feeling is gone. Yeah. It's the only one. It's the only town doing it, and I get it if they're all going to do it the same. Pickle P says withhold the pie from the a-holes. Oh, I will definitely, if I open that place, it would likely be some sort of members club. Not with a real strict membership, other than just not being an a-hole. Did you vote for the pizza truck ordinance? No pie for you. I'll be the pizza Nazi instead of the soup Nazi. No pie for you. No cops or mayors. The weird part is I actually saw in the meeting agenda that they were voting this week on a raise for both the police chief and the patrol officer, which I didn't know the town had either. I knew the sheriffs were hot on this town. The sheriffs and the state troopers are through here all the time because it's like a main thoroughfare. And I've had some interactions with the sheriffs and the stateies, but I didn't know that they had town cops here until I read in the the meeting agenda that they were going to give them both a raise. I mean, Corey said, "Isn't that a good thing that you haven't seen them?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, except the fact that they're paying them." So, I'm gonna check over here on Noster. It's only Jim over there on Noster, all by himself. You and Hunter like to hang out by yourselves. So that was Clown Show Day. It was definitely appropriate. Rewilder says, "Open a donut truck and you'll find the cops." I don't want to hang out with the cops. The only thing the cops do are cop things, and then cop things turn into shooting people for no reason things. Oh man. Yeah, so it's Clown Day yesterday. Clown Day. I'm pretty sure old Donnie won a bunch more primaries. I'm pretty sure he yeah, I don't know if he's going to be the next president or if Sniffy Joe or what's going to happen, but Clown Show ramping up. I really, honestly, people were freaking out about the polling places and the voting here, and I had no idea that it was a voting day. I was like, I thought that was in November. I completely forgot that they had to fake pick the fake candidates. Looks like Pickle Pete's got a new single dropped last night. Excuse me. Another Clown Show thing from Clown Show people that showed up yesterday in my brain. It's gonna be the old guy or the older guy. Clown, another Clown Show thing. Corey and I were sitting there last night after we had dinner, and all of a sudden she looks over at me and she goes, "Sunday's daylight savings time," and I was like, "Ah, fuck." Do you guys know Sunday's daylight savings coming up? Prepare to get sick. I'll get sick. Clown Show. What's the point? If anybody can give me a logical reason why we should continue doing, we should continue doing daylight savings. Drop it out there. Maybe so the farmers can work later in the summer. They can work later. I don't know. All these tractors that I've seen all have lights on them, and I haven't met a farmer that just doesn't work fucking dawn to dusk. Pickle P says nebulized HO. Haven't been sick one day this winter. Yeah, that doesn't help with sleep, dingbat. I'm not getting a sinus infection. Shifting your circadian rhythm doesn't have to do anything with nebulizing hydrogen peroxide. Chris Dixon says daylight savings the stupidest thing they cling to. Oh my god, my favorite meme, and it's about to roll out pretty soon, is the great Indian chief. Only a white man thinks he can cut the top off a blanket and sew it on the bottom and make it longer. That's perfect. Coming from a white man. Pickle Piece says, "What kind of sick are you planning on getting?" I mean, it's hard to explain. Like I get super tired and it gets off. It's not a respiratory illness. It's not a sinus illness. It's It's a worn out, exhausted illness where all I want to do is sleep. Like that. Sounds mental. I don't know. Chris Dixon says that's his favorite too. He has it saved for 2 times a year. I was hoping at one point to attach it to a calendar notification. So I don't know. Your body gets used to a certain schedule for 6 months at a time, and then bam, let's change it by an hour. Let's change the light sleep harder. Okay, John. Daylight savings, I hate it. It's been since I was a teen. It's nothing new. It's nothing different. It's every fucking year. More so in the spring than the fall, but every year. Didn't matter if I was in Minnesota and it was super cold when it happened. Didn't matter if I was in Texas and it was warm when it happened, or in New York growing up and it was just what it was. Always sick the week after. 2-3 days. Feel like shit. For what reason? Rewilder Life says, again, I need to figure out a life that I don't have to care about this. Yeah, my problem is I do a show at the same time every day. Should I shift with daylight savings? Clark up there in Saskatchewan, where they don't celebrate this shit, he would like it because he can't watch for half the year. Rewilder Life says it takes 2 weeks for her to adjust. Mike Homestead says he likes it light later. But here's the thing. Time is only a reference. So, like Rachel said, we need to figure out how to make a life where the clock doesn't matter and we can just live by nature. Now, what all the bullshit reasoning I've heard over the years, I'm trying to recall them all on the spot because I didn't really plan on going this deep into this, but all the reasons that you've heard why they did daylight savings, do any of them make sense? Have you ever heard a reason that makes sense? I always got the farmer thing. We do it for the farmers. And that's just bullshit. Farmers work when it's light, and they don't work when it's dark. And now they have lights. So give me a better reason. I don't have one. Is it intentional to tip the apple cart twice a year? Rewilder Life says the school buses. What year did they start doing daylight savings? Good morning, Jamie. Thanks for joining us. Arizona doesn't do it. Yeah, I know. Jim says, I've heard this talk of doing away with it for years and it ain't happening. Yeah, it would. Every year it comes around. This is going to be the last year if they pass it. Chris Dixon. He says it's perfect. My problem is I get up to listen to this homeless Amazon guy and it throws my conspiracy brain for a loop. especially during daylight savings transition where you're a little foggy in the morning. So Gen G, Rewilder, they bring up Arizona. Now, how messed up is it? How messed up was it? Now, think of yourself in this situation. I would have to move. I would definitely have to move if this was me. But what if you lived in a state? Is there a state? I should ask this question first. Is there a place where you can live on the border of a time zone and a state that doesn't observe daylight savings. Is there a possibility that your neighbor could be living 2 hours different than you in some place in this country? Like, they're time travelers? Time travel does exist. I've determined it. I don't know. I don't know. I know that there was a place in Illinois or Indiana when I was moving from New York to Minnesota. We stopped at some place that didn't have daylight savings or something, and the time was weird. And it was odd because the time at the hotel was different than the time at the restaurant that we were going to get breakfast at when we were leaving. And so we left the hotel and we got to the place and we went to go in and it was closed and it didn't open for another hour. And we're like, wait, what? And so we went to the gas station next door and they're like, oh, yeah. And literally the restaurant was less than a mile from the hotel. Okay, Genji says Southern Nevada and Northern Arizona. Arizona, New Mexico border. Pickle Pete says that's why Albuquerque is so out of time. But, like, could you imagine? Like, you live within a few miles of work and you have to now live your life offset by 2 hours a day every day for half the year. And is it half the year? Is daylight savings half the year? Jim singing songs from his mid-30s. If I could save time in a bottle. What year was that from, Jim? So we got that clown show coming up. Indiana. Okay, Mike Holmes says Indiana is that other one that doesn't participate. I figured it was somewhere Indiana, Illinois. That's that we came right across there. Cat Stevens. Isn't that guy a terrorist or something? Didn't he change his name? Found religion or something? Chris Dixon says they had a provincial plebiscite. What the hell is a provincial plebiscite? Here, is that like a vote? And the options were to keep daylight savings or change to full-time winter. No mention of standard time at all. Imagine the one Pickle Pete says, imagine the 1:30 a.m. traffic to the other bar. That is interesting because when I was in college, I was in Buffalo, New York, and right across the border was Ontario. And as a guy that was in his 19-20 year age, oh, now we're gonna have a battle between Jen and Jim. Jen says Cat Stevens. Jim says Jim Croce. Mm, mm. So being close to Canada, 19 and 20, and the drinking age in New York was 21, and the drinking age and the full nude adult entertainment facilities in Canada were right there within like a 30-minute drive. We used to drive to Canada and get schnockered and look at boobies and have fun. And at the end of the night, when 2 a.m. last call came, we would jump in the car and head back to Buffalo to all the towny bars around the college that didn't give a shit how old you were. And last call was 4 a.m. It was 4 a.m. So yeah, Canada across the border, and then a mad rush at 2 a.m. across an international border down to the college bars to get a little more booze in us. Hunter said, snookered and boobies. Yeah. And as far as the customs knew, we went to the casino and lost all our money, which was true. We lost all our money. It just happened to be a couple miles down the road from the casino. I mean, what a time to be alive when you could get across the border without, this was prior to 9/11. Hunter says his air compressor kicked off just in time to hear snookered in boobies. Oh man. Breaking news. Breaking news from the YouTube comments. Mike Homestead says, have you heard about the Iranian assassin in the US to take out Trump and his associates? He heard about it at work, but has not researched it yet. This is an unresearched fact. Run with it. Run with it. Headline, NBC News. Iranian assassin hunting Donald Trump and associates. Unconfirmed. Chris Dixon, this has got to be a t-shirt. Have you seen it? I don't live in Canada. Do you know if there's a t-shirts available that say Canada, come for the beer, stay for the boobs? Oh, that is fantastic. Pip says Iranian assassin paid for by the blue states. Pickle Pete confirms we have 2 confirmations. This is like a Bitcoin transaction. Can we get 8 confirmations, please, before we run with this? Canadian strippers are always nicer. Now, this was a former life for me. Like I don't frequent the booby bars anymore. Probably because there's none around here. No. I mean, this was probably back in my late teens, early 20s. It was the thing to do. It was really the thing to do. Especially when you could go up to Canada, you could go to Niagara Falls. It was a tourist location. So they had the highest end establishments there. But I have frequented adult entertainment establishments in several Canadian cities and probably more than several United States cities over my lifetime. And I would say in general, as a blanket statement, no individual cases taken into account, Canadian strippers are nicer than American strippers. For sure. Oh, they have his picture. Oh no. Mike's Homestead said they had the story pulled up and showed him the picture, but he didn't read it. Oh no. Jim heard Q's cleaning the swamp. Oh no. Pip was asking yesterday about how does the stripper take lightning tips? Does she have a QR code tattooed on her booty or her boobie? One or the other. Awkward pig. Yeah. Oh, for sure, man. Nothing like going to a strip club and paying a few $100s for a bottle of wine that costs $7 just because. It wasn't for the wine, it was for the scenery. But yeah, I would concur with the Canadian American dynamic on the adult entertainment facilities. It was It was, I mean, it was what it was. And it wasn't just guys. It wasn't just guys going to these places, because Canada had male strip clubs too, where the guys took their clothes off. I'm glad Kyle isn't here this morning, because he'd be on his way to Niagara Falls before his wife woke up. Like, so this wasn't just a group of guys heading up from the dorms doing this. Like, this would be a nightly, a couple nights a week, I guess, excursion for like a group of people from college, and we would take off and go up there, and the guys would go to one or two of them, and the girls would go to another one, and then we'd meet up at the end. Chris Dixon says Canadian strippers are nicer. That's another t-shirt. Man, I want a cut. I want a cut of all this gold. Jim says I had a Wallet of Satoshi QR code tattooed, but now I have to get it removed and get the Alby one. That's why you got to run your own Lightning node, dude. That'd be only your fault. Oh, what else is on the list here? Man, it was definitely a clown show yesterday, wasn't it? Rumble was the only reason that I knew that it was one of the only reasons I knew that it was election time. And it was in the middle of the afternoon. My phone gets an alert, and I didn't know that Rumble went from green to blue. I guess this logo here in the corner is outdated. Is Rumble blue? Is Rumble blue right now? I do want to cut, and if that makes me a socialist, I don't know. I think that makes me a capitalist, because I said the damn words. Intellectual property. Use it. Go for it. Make a million. Make a million. So Rumble, I don't know. Is Rumble blue or is it still green? Because yesterday I got this notification at the top of my phone, this like blue, this triangle, sideways triangle thing. It looks like a play button, I guess. I don't know what the thing was, but it popped up on my phone notifications, and it was blue, and I pulled it down. I was confused what it was, and I didn't even know that I had push alerts from Rumble on. I'm pretty sure I nixed those right away, because I'm not a big push alert fan for the majority of my apps. And it was this blue, the blue thing, and I pull it down, and it was like, damn Bongino live with election coverage. And I'm like, they got me wrong. They got me wrong. I don't know what they were talking about. Now I'm guessing they were talking about Trump and Sniffy Joe. And somebody said that Nikki Haley is dropping out of the race. Like, weird. I'm pretty sure. Did she win anything? Did she even win second place at anything? Or has she been last the whole time? Everybody's saying the Rumble's still green. I don't know what the thing was, but it was a blue push notification. And I think Rumble might still be green on my phone. Let me look. I can't even find it. I don't even use it. Yeah, it's still green on my phone, but the app was the app push notification was blue. Huh. Pickle P says she won DC. DC has vote? That DC has a primary? I don't know. I don't remember all this shit. I purged this stuff for more pertinent information a long time ago, about 5 or 6 years ago. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Chris Dixon saw a meme with her old Ada participation trophy. guys, I don't know. I don't know if anybody here experienced it yesterday, but there was a Facebook outage. Hope everybody was all right. I hope no one needed any extra anxiety meds. I hope no one no one freaked out. Everybody made it through. No one crashed their car or slit their wrists or anything like that because Facebook went down for a little while. I don't even know how long it was down. But I do have to tell you, immediately when I went to log on and it wouldn't let me log on, I was like, oh, fuck, they scorched my account. I literally assumed that it was all me and nothing to do with Facebook. Well, obviously it would have something to do with Facebook. They would have banned me, but I didn't think it was out. I didn't think it was. I would just like close the app. I was literally going there. Basically, my interaction on Facebook is my local groups to share my stuff, and then it is the resource for one of my Amazon affiliate or Amazon influencer, the extension that I bought to help with that program. Their support group, their customer service and shit is on Facebook. So I was going there literally to check in on that because Amazon updated their code and the dude needs to adjust the extension every time Amazon tweaks their code so that his shit works with it. And I went there to see that and it was like, oh, you need to log in again. Wired Edge says, I thought I forgot my password. I don't remember my password for Facebook. I log in so infrequently, it stays logged in everywhere, that I don't know what my password is. So I just do the authorize thing with my phone, and that wouldn't work. So I was just like, oh yeah, whatever. I'll check it later. I'll figure out another way. I was like actually trying to figure out another way to get a hold of him. Like I was going to go to his YouTube channel and send him a message and be like, hey dude, is your shit fucked up? But I figured then a lot of people were doing that anyway, because a lot of people use this and usually when something goes sideways, there's a lot of notification in the group. I was basically going to check to see if anybody had let him know. But yeah, I wouldn't log in. So it appears that Meta and all that stuff was down. And I was like, oh man, Facebook, Instagram. I was like, shit, I better go see if Noster's down. Guess what happens? That doesn't go down. We were talking about Noster a little bit yesterday. And the nice part about it is you can't turn it off, guys. Well, how interesting. I don't know if anybody talked about this. How interesting on a big primary day. A big old primary day where all the big primaries happened yesterday, I guess. I guess that's why it was so important. Facebook went down. What would happen if the day before the election in November, or maybe the day after, or during the election, or all of the above, something happens to Facebook and it just goes off? What are we going to do? Was it a test run? I was going to put it in my notes. I was going to put the FF, the big FF term in my notes, but I didn't want to get flagged by falsely flagged by YouTube. Pickle Pete. Shit, I didn't even think about the trial run on a media blackout. That's why I'm here to bring you the things that you don't think about. Gen G says storm the Capitol or be let in. Hey, come on over and visit. Then we're going to shoot you in the face and say you broke in. Jim says Facebook going down is like the internet going down for many. Yeah. Man. Technology has definitely outgrown a lot of people. I wanted to say a lot of generations. But I don't know if it's generations because there's a lot of people. One example is let's talk about Wi-Fi, hotspots, internet service. They're not all the fucking same. Reliance says, has your friends' phone numbers, have them in an actual book. I have all my friends' phone numbers in my head, and she's back in the back there. I don't know if I'm going to have to call her. I don't have any friends. I don't have to worry about it. If there's something going on that I need my friends' phone numbers, I'm close enough to the ones that I need to get a hold of that it won't be over the phone. In my RV groups on Facebook, in the full-time RVers, just the general, it's a general group. I am in several. I joined them when we were preparing, when we were researching, and now I do it for promotion and to help other people. But the amount of nonsense that goes on in those groups because people don't know simple terminology and definitions of what they're talking about is unbelievable. I want to get Wi-Fi for my camper so I can work remotely while we're boondocking. I'm sorry, sweetheart, but Wi-Fi ain't gonna help you. I could set you up a Wi-Fi network in your camper that has no internet connectivity. I think technology is accelerating at such a rapid pace that people are just getting left behind. I think people accommodate people for not using accurate terminology, not getting things, and I'm probably just as much to blame for this as anybody else. But I think we really skip over things. We skip over things and don't define terms, and that's where people get really confused, especially in technology. Yeah, it happens across the board, but technology with it ramping up so fast, that is what's going on. And when you correct someone, when you are the person that says, hey, that's not really Wi-Fi, you're talking about satellite internet signal, cell phone signal, whatever. You're a dick for pointing out that they used the wrong term. So it just perpetuates the problem. Jim says we don't have any signal where we are. Is there a booster for that? Rewiler Life says Rachel left behind, but folks also use lingo that many don't know. Rewiler, she says, yes, like client, ticket. Yeah. Well, there is that. The problem is people assume they know what it is, or they use the terms incorrectly, which snowballs the problem. Good Princess, I guess I'm a dick then. Rewiler Life says, yeah, water glass eggs versus liked eggs. I don't know what a liked egg is. Apple cider vinegar versus scrap vinegar. It is. It is all over. Is this limed? Okay, I had a feeling that that's what it was. But is this a new thing? Was this something that was prevalent in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today? Is this something that has been happening more as society just doesn't care? When did this happen? I don't know. I didn't really think about it. Can you think of a time when it was a less prevalent occurrence to have to correct people on their terminology. Rewilder Life says, as Stephen Harris would say, words matter. I know folks hate that guy. If you don't know who Stephen Harris is, he was a guy that was on the Survival podcast as a guest, as an expert council member, as a regular just flaming asshole at some points. But it is what it is. The guy was brilliant. He knew what he was talking about. He knew that he knew what he was talking about, and he was very arrogant about it. It is what it is. Take it for what he is, a resource on information, not for his glowing personality. That's how I always looked at it. Mike Somstead says, yeah, my dash cam has Wi-Fi, but it just allows me to connect to my phone and download from the camera. Correct. Texting is killing the English language. And I don't know if it's a matter of texting. Would texting degrade the determination between Wi-Fi, DSL, satellite internet? Like, Jim says it's hard for us brilliant people to put up with all of you. Pickle Pizza or Rewilder Life says exactly, no glow and warm fuzzy feeling when you talk to him. And you knew that going in. That was the thing. And really, I think when it broke down, it was similar to recent times here on our show. At some points there, and yes, I did say our show because you guys make the show what it is in the comments there. And sometimes it's just time to move on. At sometimes the juice isn't worth the squeeze. At some points, it's damaging to have certain individuals around, and no matter what value they bring, they take away more, and it's time to cut ties. And I think Jack at one point was just done with him berating his fans. So it is. All right, guys. I got to I gotta wrap it up here. We're after 7:00. Pickle Pete waiting patiently over there on the left coast. Rewilder Life says, I'm friends with Harris. You know what you're getting, but he's not on my show. Correct. I always found very, very, very much value in the information he brought. And it was fantastic. So it is what it is. Anyway, we're going to wrap up, guys. I got a bunch of stuff on the list. We'll just carry it over tomorrow as usual. Other than that, I appreciate everyone listening. If you enjoyed the show, it's always free to hit the like, share, and subscribe. To return value for value, please consider joining one of the YouTube membership tiers where you get all the review videos and all the videos I put out when they get uploaded, not when they get scheduled to go public. Other than that, you can return value to value by listening on any Lightning-enabled platforms like Podverse or Fountain.fm. You can visit thelostproject.com to find more information about me or find all my partner companies, discount codes, affiliate links. Hunter was asking yesterday for my link tree. I stopped updating all that stuff. Just go to the Lots Project and under partner companies, click on it. There is a list of people. There's discount codes. There's affiliate links. There's all sorts of stuff. So with that, guys, let's wrap it up. Let's get through this hump day, make it through. And when we join you tomorrow, we will be on the downhill to the weekend and that wonderful daylight savings time. Have a great day, guys. We'll catch up with you tomorrow.